There are two standards under which financial advisors operate. One is the fiduciary standard, and the second is a suitability standard. The majority of brokers, wirehouses, and the big firms that people are aware of operate under a suitability standard, which means that as long as, based on their investigation of you and your preferred risk profile and other things involved with who you are as an investor, as long as the product, security, or whatever they're recommending is suitable, then that's all good with regulators. The other is the fiduciary standard, which is for registered investment advisory firms, requires that we legally work in a client's best interest. And there is a big difference between the two, obviously, because just because it's suitable doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be in your best interest. And I'll give you an example. This is many, many years ago, probably 25 years ago. I was actually with a large brokerage firm. This is before I got into investment management. And I had a decent portfolio, but and this was during kind of the tech bubble, but I really didn't like any of the technology investments because they weren't making any sense to me with regard to PEs and really some of these simple analytics done on the securities. So my investment advisor knew I wanted to avoid technology. Well, I got a phone call, probably a couple, and she really wanted me to come in and discuss this investment. So I went in and sat down. We talked about this investment. It was they were setting up a fund that was going to do technology investments solely, and she knew I didn't like it. But she said, "Oh, just listen," So I listened. I heard her out, and she kind of made me feel like I was going to be missing the boat if I didn't get in with these things, with the technology stuff. So I ended up investing in it, and again, it was my deal. It was my decision. But the sad thing was, I got sold. She convinced me that this was something that I should be invested in, and it certainly was suitable for the investor that I was. But the thing ended up blowing up. I lost every bit of it, and I was actually reading some books post tech bubble, and it was a specific section of this chapter that was with this particular firm was late to the tech party, and the corporate was putting pressure on their financial advisors to get investors into their tech bubble, or their tech bubble, their tech fund, which I did, and I ended up losing it. So the bottom line is that, I didn't doubt that she worked for me and she was doing some things, but she certainly wasn't looking out for my best interest because she had to change my mind in order to appease her company, which they clearly were not working as fiduciaries, because that is not in my best interest. Her best interest was in her job and what her company was telling her to do. So when you're out there looking for a financial advisor, find out whether they're going to be working under the fiduciary standard or the suitability standard. There is a big difference.